You are watching week 4 of the 52 weeks to 4.0 Pickleball Challenge. This week, we are introducing the A, B, and C's of the backhand. This stroke has as many moving parts of the forehand and should become, if it isn't already, an integral part of your arsenal of pickleball weapons. In fact, in my own game, it is my most reliable and favored shot. If hit correctly, you should see as much developed topspin as you get, maybe more than even on your forehand stroke. It too can be hit with either a continental or an eastern grip.
Now the backhand stroke and the forehand stroke are somewhat repetitive with the swing strokes. The backhand stroke being more or less a mirror image of the forehand stroke. It's a little bit different because your hinge is on the far side of the body now, as opposed to when you're hitting the forehand, it's on the near side. So there are differences, but it's still four different points of swing and technique. So I'll show that. But firstly, to start, you can hit it in the continental grip. So the continental grip, as we discussed in the last couple of videos, can easily be found by putting the paddle under your arm, reaching over, grabbing the paddle, and you are automatically in the continental grip. So, I'm facing the net, which is parallel with my body, and I'm in the ready stance. So the ready stance is, the paddle is at 11 o'clock, and the top of the paddle, if you draw a line across, it's at my sternum, so upper chest, and I have 80% of the weight on the toes of my feet and only 20% on my heels. But I am balanced, and that's the key to this stroke, remaining in balance the whole stroke. So again, there are 4 different points, and I'm going to go through each of them 2 or 3 times, and then I'll go slow motion, and then I'll speed it up to real time. So the first step, as I teach pickleball, is stepping forward. So I'm stepping forward, and it's a unit turn. That means my body is turning, and at the same time my paddle is going back straight to the rear wall. The paddle is perpendicular to the rear wall and perpendicular to the direction of the net. That's step 1. Step 2 is dropping the paddle. You'll note that I have an athletic stance, my knees are bent, I have an athletic stance, and my head is basically going to remain at one height through the entirety of the swing. So step 2 is dropping the paddle. Step 3 is rotating your body and turning your hips, rotating on that rear foot, until you're hitting the ball 4 to 6 inches in front of your front knee. That's step 3. And step 4 is rotating and having your torso parallel with the net. So that's the entirety of the stroke. I'll go through it again. So we're in the ready stance, stepping forward. The unit turn is the paddle is facing the rear wall. The majority of my weight at this point is on my rear leg. But as I go, this is step 2, as I go into step 3, the majority of my weight is transferring forward over my front foot, where I'm going to meet the ball 4 to 6 inches in front of the front knee, and then rotating through. Now, as I come through, I do pull up a little bit out of the stroke, but I don't grossly come up right out of it and lock my knees up. Okay, so I'm gonna do it one more time in slow motion. So I'm in the ready stance, step forward, the paddle goes directly to the back wall. Step 2 is I drop the paddle. 3 is I'm rotating and meeting the ball 4 to 6 inches in front of my front foot. And step 4 is coming up and turning with a full torso turn. So my belly button is facing the net. So I'll do it real time now for a little bit more of a quick stance. So turning, dropping, coming through, and I'll do it again. Stepping, dropping, hitting, coming through. And then full motion. So in the ready stance, turning, coming through. Okay? So as you step forward, you're changing your weight from the rear to the front, and you're rotating through. You should be able to finish this stroke without losing your balance 5 or 6 times, so that you get the feel for the stroke. And you should be able to do this in a 3/4 or full-length mirror, so that you can perfect the stroke at home. But in any event, you need to remain fluid, you need to remain balanced, and it's not about hitting the ball hard with your paddle, it's about putting those big muscles, the lower torque, into it, so that you're utilizing the biggest muscles in your body to put the power into the ball. Now, the stroke up on the ball is the same as the forehand. You're actually rolling up over top of the ball. That's imparting the forward roll, which will put natural topspin on the ball. The ball out front of yourself as opposed to stroking the ball with your lower body, because here you're just pushing with your arm. The case is that the further you get back, the harder it is to execute this shot. So what I'm advocating is to turn, fully turn, and to swing through the ball so that you get maximum control and power into the ball. But I just thought I'd point that out because I see a lot of people running over to the ball and then pushing the ball back like this here on a backhand, as opposed to stroking through the ball, which gives you much more control and, as I said, much more power. But the hidden element to that is when you're turning and contacting the ball correctly and finishing over your shoulder, you're also getting that element of topspin, which will bring it back into the court and make the players on the far side of the court hit up because you've hit a ball that's gone down to their feet. So that's it.